guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be something totally different, and this is because the other day one of you guys actually left me a comment and you were like, oh, you should do an update video on all the foundations you've done first impressions on so you can let us know if you still like them, if you still use them, everything like that. And I was like, that is such a good idea. Why haven't I thought of that? So that is what today's video is going to be. I'm updating on all of my foundations that I have tried since Too Faced Born This Way. So I'm actually splitting this video into two parts because I actually have 12 foundations to update you guys on. So there's going to be 6 in this video, and then in a couple days from now I'm going to post part 2 with the final 6. I obviously already have like a full dedicated video to each of these products, so these are going to be just really quick updates on like whether I still use them, if I return them, if I've found better products to use with them, things like that. So they're going to be very fast. And to make things easy for you guys, down below in the description bar I will have links to all of the actual first impressions videos for these foundations, as well as links to the products themselves if you want to check them out, and the shades I wear as well will be listed down below. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I'm sorry if the lighting or camera angle just changed drastically. My camera was dying, so I had to plug it in and wait a little bit in between. But anyways, the first foundation is the Too Faced Born This Way. Now, I think this is probably the biggest one that I get questions about whether or not I still like it. Just like I predicted in that first impressions video, this really has become a huge favorite of mine. This is actually basically empty. I've completely used it up. I absolutely love it, and it's something that I will definitely repurchase at some point in the future. You guys know I've been buying foundations like crazy recently, but definitely going to repurchase. I love the nice soft glow it gives, and it never looks cakey at all. And honestly, I feel like I just kind of struck the right combination of products the first time I tried it, because I still really like applying it with the Beauty Blender and setting it with Rimmel Stay Matte. If you do have oily skin, you're definitely going to need a more mattifying setting powder on top of this. Next up, we have the Laura Mercier Smooth Finish Flawless Fluid. I've tried this a couple times since reviewing it. I did really like it in my first impressions, and yeah, I've tried it a couple times, but it's just not one I reach for regularly. It doesn't give the best coverage if you have really severe acne or scarring, so that's one of the reasons I haven't reached for it, because my breakouts were really bad over the winter. Maybe I'll revisit it over the summer because I might like it now that my skin's clearing up a little bit more, but for the most part it's not something I would repurchase and just not something I reach for all the time. It does wear really well though on oily skin though. Number 3 is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. I don't have this one because I returned it immediately after trying it. I just hated this foundation. It was just a hot mess. If you want to see why, once again, that'll be linked down below, but I didn't even give that one a second chance. Next up, we have Marc Jacobs Remarkable. This is probably the second most requested one to update on. No, I did not ever end up buying the correct shade in this. I had already returned it once because the first one I got looked like it had been used, like the inside was all like leaking and like messy looking, and I just felt awkward returning it again. So many people also told me like this foundation is so hard to find a match in. They've gone through like 4 different shades, returning and exchanging it, and they just cannot find a match for them. So I was like, I'm not gonna bother. So what I have been using this for is I have been mixing it in with foundations that are too dark for me, like the Too Faced Born This Way. For a long time I was actually wearing these two mixed together because this was my like more summery shade. So since this was way too ultra light for me, that's what I ended up doing, because if you look at the ingredients of this, it's pretty much identical to the Cover FX Custom Cover Drop, so it works really well for that. This is a good foundation, but I just simply would not repurchase it. To me, it's not worth $70. I would pay probably like $40 for it at the most, especially since it is considerably smaller than other foundations. I think it's like 20 mil, 22 mil, something around that if I remember correctly. So yeah, I have found a really good way to use it, but not going to repurchase it. Maybelline Dream Velvet. Now in my first impressions video, I said I was going to try this out and give it more chances, and I had every intention to, but I just cannot bring myself to use it again. My makeup looked so bad that day. Everything was just like sliding off of my face because of this foundation, and it just was not a fun time. So I can't bring myself to use it, and I missed like the date to return it by the time I decided I wasn't going to use it again. So yeah, I don't know, this was disappointing. Maybe if you have more normal skin, you might like this. Oily skin, it's definitely a no-go, and the shade range is also weird too. And finally, for part 1, we have the BECCA Ultimate Coverage Complexion Cream. You guys know I absolutely love this after trying it. I used it every day for quite a while after doing my review. The only thing is it does tend to get very heavy. It's like a really heavy duty foundation. It gives really amazing coverage, but it's intense, and I think I've actually found a foundation that I like more that gives really similar kind of coverage. You guys might already know what one I'm talking about, but if you want to know for sure, you're gonna have to check out part 2. So yeah, those are my updates. I know this video was probably super short. That was kind of the point, just to really quickly update you guys. To sum up, the 2 that I would repurchase and really still love are the Too Faced Born This Way and the BECCA Ultimate Coverage. Highly recommend both of these products. They're both lovely and wonderful. So yeah, once again, all of the first impression videos as well as links and the shades that I wear in these foundations will all be in the description bar, so be sure to check it out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm thinking every like 6 foundations or so in the future that I test out, I will come back and do one of these recap videos because I think they're definitely helpful. Give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy this video and like this idea. Don't forget to hit subscribe down below and check me out on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. I am at SARI all 3, and I will see you guys in part 2. Bye guys! It's just really increased the hydration in my hair, especially just having my hair trimmed. I want to keep my ends really well hydrated and looking healthy, so I have been loving this. Adds a ton of shine as well.